What if this moment is the answer to prayers you were too tired to repeat? Not the loud prayers, the quiet ones, the ones you whispered when no one was listening, the ones you prayed with doubt in your chest but hope still breathing. Something brought you here, and it wasn't random. You've been carrying questions you don't say out loud, wondering why doors stayed closed when you did everything right, why effort didn't match results, why you felt forgotten even while believing. You kept going anyway, because giving up felt heavier than continuing. There's a reason your heart feels alert right now, a reason your spirit won't let you scroll away. This moment is touching something deep inside you, something that has been waiting to be seen, to be answered, to be restored. You're not weak for feeling tired. You're human, and you've been strong longer than most people will ever know. You smiled when you wanted to rest. You trusted when evidence was missing. You believed even when fear kept asking questions. That kind of faith leaves marks, not on the outside, but on the soul. And God sees those marks. This isn't about hype, it's about alignment. It's about a shift that doesn't need noise to be powerful. There are seasons when God speaks through silence, and there are moments like this when silence breaks. Right now, something is opening that was locked by time, by fear, by delay. Not because you forced it, but because you endured. You've been standing at the edge of something new without realizing. Feeling restless, feeling like the old patterns no longer fit, feeling called forward, even without clear direction. That feeling is not confusion, it's preparation. Before miracles show up, there is always tension. Before clarity arrives, there is pressure. Before doors open, there is waiting. And you have waited. You waited through unanswered questions, through moments when faith felt heavy, through days when hope felt thin, but you held it anyway. That patience was not wasted. That endurance was not ignored. What you thought was delay was protection. What you thought was silence was construction. Something was being built where you couldn't see it. This is not about fixing everything at once. It's about awakening something inside you that never left, your ability to trust again. There is a peace available to you that doesn't depend on circumstances, a strength that doesn't need proof, a breakthrough that begins internally before it ever becomes visible. You don't need to understand everything right now. You just need to stay present. Because when God moves, He often starts where people stop paying attention. Inside the heart, inside belief, inside the quiet yes you haven't said out loud yet. This moment is an invitation, not to rush, not to force, but to receive. What is opening for you doesn't require struggle, it requires surrender. And if you stay here, truly here, you will walk away different. Not because life instantly becomes easy, but because something inside you realigns. The weight you've been carrying doesn't belong to you anymore. The fear you've been managing is losing its grip. The future you've been worrying about is already being touched by grace. This is where the shift begins. That shift you felt wasn't imagination. It was permission. Permission to stop surviving. Permission to stop carrying what was never meant to crush you. Permission to believe that this year does not answer to your past. You reached a line. On one side is everything familiar, fear, delay, repeating cycles. On the other side is movement, not perfect, but forward. And the truth is, you cannot stay where you were and become who you're meant to be. There are moments when God doesn't ask for your comfort, He asks for your trust, because comfort keeps you small. Trust moves you into rooms you never thought you'd enter. You've been negotiating with fear, telling yourself it's safer to wait, safer to stay quiet, safer not to expect too much. But safety never changed a life. Faith does. And faith is not loud confidence. It's quiet obedience. It's choosing to stand when everything inside you wants to sit down. This is where urgency matters, not panic, urgency of alignment. Because what is opening now will not wait forever. Moments pass, windows close, and hesitation has a cost. You feel it already. That pressure in your chest, that sense that something requires a decision. Not tomorrow. Now, the old patterns are losing power. The excuses don't sound convincing anymore. The fear that once controlled you is starting to feel exposed. That's not weakness, that's growth. You are being asked to step into responsibility for your faith, to stop waiting for signs and become one. God does not bless comfort zones. He blesses movement, even small movement, especially small movement, because miracles don't begin with outcomes. They begin with agreement. Agreement that you will no longer speak death over your future. Agreement that you will stop partnering with doubt. Agreement that you will show up even when results are not visible. Yet, this is not about pretending everything is fine. It's about refusing to let pain write the ending. Your story does not end in lack. It does not end in delay. It does not end in disappointment. But it will only change if you do. You can't pray for open doors and refuse to walk when they crack open. You can't ask for growth and reject discomfort. This is the tension before breakthrough. And tension is uncomfortable, but it is holy. Right now, your attention matters. What you focus on will grow. What you agree with will multiply. And for the first time in a long time, you have a choice to keep rehearsing the pain, or to start declaring promise, to keep waiting for permission, or to realize you already have it. There is a strength inside you that has been dormant, not because it disappeared, but because life forced you to conserve it. Now it's waking up. And once it wakes up, you can't go back to sleep. This year demands clarity. Half faith won't carry you. Passive belief won't sustain you. You don't need more information. You need alignment. Alignment between what you say you believe and how you live. Alignment between your prayers and your actions. This is the moment where belief becomes behavior. And if you stay present, fully present, you will feel it. That inner resistance breaking, that heaviness lifting, that quiet confidence forming, not because everything changed, but because you did. And when you change, everything else eventually follows. That inner shift you felt is not temporary. It's a signal that you are no longer meant to live on autopilot, no longer meant to wake up repeating the same emotional patterns, no longer meant to carry yesterday into a future that demands more from you. Something higher is asking for your attention. Not politely, urgently, because time is moving whether you're ready or not. And this season does not reward hesitation. You've outgrown the version of yourself that kept settling, outgrown the mindset that said maybe later, outgrown the fear that told you to wait until everything made sense. It will never make sense first. It requires faith first. There is a narrow window where belief must turn into action. Miss it and you repeat cycle. Step into it and everything accelerates. This is that window. Right now, distractions are trying to pull you back. Old thoughts, old doubts, old voices telling you nothing ever really changes. But they are wrong. They are loud because they are losing control. What you're feeling is resistance breaking, not around you, within you. And once that breaks, your life cannot remain the same. You don't need permission from people who never carried your pain. You don't need approval from environments that benefited from your silence. This is personal. This is spiritual. You were not preserved this long to quit now. You were not protected through storms to drown in shallow fear. There is a responsibility that comes with being chosen to endure, to rise. You don't rise when it's easy. You rise when it's required. And this moment is requiring something from you, not perfection. Commitment. Commitment to stop betraying your own prayers with doubt-filled decisions. Commitment to stop speaking limitation over a future God is already working on. Commitment to move even when fear tries to negotiate. Fear will always offer logic. Faith demands obedience. One keeps you trapped. Pain, the other sets you free. You've spent enough time analyzing what went wrong, enough time reliving what hurt you, enough time preparing for failure instead of expecting breakthrough. That season is closing, and what replaces it will only respond if you step into it boldly. This is not the year to play small, not the year to stay silent, not the year to live half awake. This is the year where your belief must become visible, where your prayers must be matched with courage, where your hope must be protected from negativity, because everything is shifting based on what you choose to agree with. Agree with fear and it grows. Agree with faith and doors open. You don't need to feel ready. Readiness comes after obedience. Every breakthrough you admire started with someone moving before confidence showed up. You are not behind, you are being positioned, and positioning requires pressure. What feels heavy now is shaping strength. What feels uncomfortable now is stretching capacity. Don't misinterpret the pressure. It's not meant to crush you. It's meant to prepare you. You are closer than you think. Closer to peace. Closer to clarity. Closer to answers you stopped expecting. But closeness demands decision. This is where many stop. They feel the pull. They sense the shift, but they retreat back to comfort. You cannot afford to do that. Not now. What God is doing in you is fragile at this stage. It needs your attention, your agreement, your courage. Protect this moment. Let it mark you, because when you walk away from here, life will test what you receive, and only what is rooted will remain. Root this belief deep. Anchor it in your actions. Stand differently. Speak different. Lie. choose differently. This is where alignment becomes power. And once you step fully into it, nothing that tried to hold you back will have authority over you again. Hold that ground. Do not retreat inward now. Because the moment you hesitate, doubt tries to rewrite what you just received. It whispers that this feeling will fade, that nothing really changes, that you felt inspired before. But this is different. This isn't excitement, it's clarity. And clarity demands action. There comes a point where belief must leave the heart and enter the body, where faith must show up in how you speak, how you decide, how you move. This is that point. What you tolerate after this moment will define the rest of your year. What you accept will multiply. What you refuse will lose power. You don't need to fight everything. You just need to stop agreeing with what weakens. Stop feeding thoughts that drain your spirit. Stop replaying memories that keep you small. Stop rehearsing endings that God never wrote. This is not about becoming someone new overnight. It's about returning to who you were before fear taught you to shrink. There is a version of you that remembers how to trust without proof, how to move without applause, how to believe even when outcomes were uncertain. That version is still alive. And right now, it's standing up. You've learned what pain feels like. You've learned what disappointment does, but you've also learned endurance. You know how to survive storms. Now you must learn how to walk in calm without self-sabotage. That is harder than pain, because peace requires discipline. And discipline requires saying no to familiar chaos. Some doors will only open when why? Oh, stop knocking on the wrong ones. Some breakthroughs only arrive when you let go of how you thought they should look. This is the moment to loosen your grip on control, not your responsibility. Your control. You are not meant to manage everything. You are meant to trust deeply and move decisively. Every delay you experience sharpened your discernment. Every setback trained your patience. Every unanswered prayer refined your focus. Nothing was wasted. And because nothing was wasted, nothing ahead will be accidental. What is forming in front of you will require courage you didn't have before, but you have it now. You didn't feel strong because strength was being built quietly. You didn't feel confident because humility was protecting you. Now it's time to step forward with calm authority. Not loud, not rushed, grounded. You don't need to prove anything, you only need to stay aligned. Alignment is power without noise. And when you move from that place, resistance breaks faster than you expect. People will notice a shift. Situations will respond differently. Opportunities will appear without explanation. Not because you changed everything around you, but because something settled within you. This is the kind of faith that alters direction. You are not walking into this year unprepared. You are walking in with wisdom earned through pressure. That wisdom will guide your steps. That wisdom will guard your peace. But only if you honor it. Honor it by choosing differently. Honor it by resting when you need rest. Honor it by moving when it's time to move. Do not rush the process. Do not resist it either. Stay present. Stay alert. The next decisions you make carry unusual weight. Not because they are dramatic, but because they are directional. Direction matters more than speed. And right now, your direction is shifting upward. There will be moments soon where fear tests you again. It will ask if this was real, if this strength will last. Answer it with consistency. Show up again. Choose again. Believe again. That is how faith becomes unstoppable. This is not a temporary high. This is a recalibration. And once recalibrated, you don't go back to old settings. Carry this with you. Protect it fiercely. Because what has started here is not meant to fade. It is meant to grow. Do not let this settle as just another moment you felt something and moved on. This is a line being drawn inside you. Because now that your eyes are open, you are responsible for what you do with the light. You've reached a place where excuses won't protect you anymore. They only delay you. And delay has already taken enough from you. There are decisions waiting for your courage. Conversations waiting for your honesty. Habits waiting to be broken. This is where change becomes unavoidable. Not dramatic change. Daily change. The kind that reshapes our life quietly but completely. You don't need to announce it. You don't need validation. You don't need permission. What you need is resolve. Resolve to stop returning to what drained you. Resolve to stop minimizing what matters. Resolve to stop doubting what God already confirmed in your spirit. You have been preparing longer than you realize. Every delay refined you. Every setback redirected you. And now the ground beneath you is steady enough to hold what's